Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Smoke Pit.
Hey!
Hey, we have a fantastic Veterans Day show for you.
Super psyched.
Like, we are so proud of this.
I got a whole 8 hours of sleep last night.
Yeah, we did not consume any alcohol. We stayed up all night in preparation.
I read my Bible, went right to bed.
Yep.
I cannot say the same for our executive producer.
Who is viciously hungover right now.
I would say he's still drunk.
Possibly still drunk.
He looks like trash.
But he's a trooper, and he's got everything set up for us. So let's kick it off. So we just wanted to address something we talked about last episode with the whole Pete Davidson, Dan Crenshaw thing.
Yep.
Did I say his name right?
Yeah, Dan Crenshaw.
No, Davidson, is that?
Oh, Pete Davidson, yes.
Is that how you pronounce
yes,
it?
Davidson.
Davidson.
Dave Son.
Okay, I thought it was maybe song with like a G. Or
I believe the G is silent.
the G? I thought
like,
the Q was silent.
No, it's silent like lasagna.
Okay.
So, we pretty much said our piece about the joke, how we felt about it, and how we felt it should impact other people, or impact ourselves rather. And SNL did a really good job, I think, this week of not only bringing Dan Crenshaw on, but doing some back and forth. And hang on, let me load this clip real quick.
Yeah. So while he's pulling that up, I kind of feel like the only reason it happened was because of a lot of external pressure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like, I don't think that they would have done that of their own accord.
No.
But, if the hot girl lets you smash, you still smash. Does it matter because she was trying to get back at her boyfriend? No, it doesn't. Because at the end of the day, it still happened.
Your analogies are golden. I love it.
I try.
But, so, yeah, they brought him on. He did some really good bits. And I think, honestly, he had really good comedic timing. It made it extra funny. But they gave him like a minute afterwards to kind of say his piece, and we're going to play it for you now if you haven't heard it yet.
Seriously, there's a lot of lessons to learn here. Not just that the left and right can still agree on some things, but also this: Americans can forgive one another.
True.
We can remember what brings us together as a country and still see the good in each other.
9/11.
This is Veterans Day weekend, which means that it's a good time for every American to connect with a veteran. Maybe say thanks for your service, but I would actually encourage you to say something else. Tell a veteran, never forget. When you say never forget to a veteran, you are implying that as an American, you are in it with them. Not separated by some imaginary barrier between civilians and veterans, but connected together as grateful fellow Americans. We'll never forget the sacrifices made by veterans past and present, and never forget those we lost on 9/11, heroes like Pete's father. So I'll just say, Pete, never forget. Never forget. And that is from both of us. Commander Dan Crenshaw and Pete Davidson.
Yeah, so I most certainly did not know about Davidson's father.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he was a firefighter who died in response to 9/11.
Wow. That's surprising to hear.
Yeah.
I think that probably what I got the most about that is the imaginary barrier to me is like, I don't think that is the case, because I really think there is a separation. Like, you come to a point where, a lot of people sacrificed and a lot of people, did things. And like, yeah, people who can't even like take care of themselves, let alone like go out and do stuff.
Right.
And so like, I don't think the barrier is imaginary, because it's like, how do you interact with that? Well, most people find out that I served, immediately I get like a look of sympathy.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. I also don't like when, I'm trying to say this lightly, I don't like when veterans are lumped together, because granted we all served in some capacity to earn the title veteran, but I don't like being called, like, I don't like you identifying as a veteran and lumping everybody else in. Like, you see these videos online, it's clickbait usually. It's just like, veteran responds to this and this. Like, okay, you mean Jon Snow responds to this and this. You know what I mean? Like, he's a person. He did something different than what I did. I don't like being lumped in with those kind of people either.
I get that. And I've long said that there's a difference between being a great warfighter and being a great human being.
Agreed.
Because I'm sure with the amount of responses that I've gotten from fat, ugly girls in the last few weeks or so, like, you can tell a lot of veterans cheat on their girlfriends.
More than usual? Man.
And so, like, they're like, and I've had girls say this before, they're like, oh, screw all, Rangers, or screw all SEALs, or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, no. Like, the
just
guy.
You did doesn't mean.
Yeah, like, just because you did, but like, just because the one guy that, cheated on you,
right?
Like, that doesn't poison the entire group. Like we said last week, like, one person doesn't speak on behalf of the whole community. And then on top of that, I think that there is a difference between somebody who actually like went overseas and somebody who served in a capacity back home. Because if that's the case, like, you have like people like firefighters and cops, they never went overseas, doesn't mean that their sacrifice is any less.
I agree.
And you know, you have people like civil engineers and construction workers that go through horrible accidents and, you know, bad working conditions, and they're away from their family, but they don't get that same recognition.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think what it really boils down to is, at the end of the day, nothing that anybody else has done can take away from my service, and nothing I've done can take away from anybody else's. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to have this like pissing contest all the time to validate yourself based on what somebody else did.
Yeah, and going back to the original joke on SNL, it's like I said it last week. Like, everybody who freaked out, like, cancel SNL. As a veteran, I'm disappointed. Like, shut up. First off,
shut up.
Shut the fuck up. First off.
Yeah.
Second off, like, it was a bad joke, and it's live, and it's a lot of pressure, and I get that. Like, I remember one time I made a really bad joke, and I was correct on the spot by a Marine staff sergeant. They're usually very chill, but for some reason he wasn't. Yeah,
because he's on his third divorce.
Exactly. Yeah, he wasn't. You know, he wasn't happy.
And much like our executive producer, is still drunk from the night before.
So the story is, I was a young E3. I was going for my gray belt McMap. You know, because I'm a goddamn warrior.
Hayaka.
Exactly. I could curb stomp anybody. Yep. Perfect for him. And so I was over on the side. We were testing out for it. And he was just big. He was one of those dudes who was big only because he was fat. You know what I mean?
Oh, and like
me? Not everything's about you, Dan.
It was really me.
It was actually just Dan.
Yeah, I was clean shaven then.
And yeah.
I was a younger man.
He looked terrible.
Full of hope.
That's right. And we were off to the side because they were testing on their students. And he threw one of those little Sharky fake knives at me, just like to get it out of the way. And I made I just said it off the cuff. I was a young kid. I didn't fucking know any better. And I was just like, oh shit, PTSD. And he was somebody who was short the whole time. He's like, you suck, you suck. He was like a real rude motherfucker.
Yeah.
But this time he goes, when I said PTSD, he just looked at me concernedly. He goes, hey, RP. He's like, don't joke about that. It's not funny. And the sincerity in his voice made me feel like such a piece of garbage.
No,
you know what
fuck that guy.
No. I agree. I don't know his story, and I don't care.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's better ways to get your point across than freaking out, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But like, I think that the veteran community does such a bad job of telling people of how they can react to things, how they should feel, what they can joke about. And it's like, you know, thank me for the freedoms that I provide that you can only utilize if I agree with.
Right, yeah.
You know, and it's just like, oh, don't joke about that. But like, bitch, like, we were just joking about like dead babies and killing hookers.
On the run over here, your cadence was about dead babies.
Yeah, dead babies, fuck them all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's just like, and so like, oh, now you have a moral compass. Yeah. Now you have fucking a line that you don't want people to cross.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true. But I will say, in this one instance, it was something that he drove a point home better than freaking out. That's what I meant by that.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, I'm sure he didn't do anything. I don't know. I was with logistics at the time, so I'm sure he's a goddamn fighter.
I think that's also a lesson to all you fucks out there that like to embellish your war stories.
You weren't there, Dan. How dare you?
There is.
How dare you?
There is a subtlety that cannot be understated by, like, you know, say you're at a bar and, you know, you want to tell people that you stack bodies fucking wider than the Euphrates River. You know, my favorite is to tell people there's a whole goddamn generation of Iraqis that think I'm the Grim Reaper.
That's actually how me and Dan met.
Yeah, that's the first thing I said to him.
The first thing he said to me.
And he's just like, you know, weird flex in Costco, but...
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that'd be $4.99.
He was offering me a free sample of cheese. And I was like, you know what else has 5 letters? Killer. Does that have 5 letters?
I don't think so.
K-I-L-L-E... 6 letters.
You got this. Oh man.
But yeah,
Super Fidelis.
Swing and a miss. But that being said, though, you know, if you are going to embellish your shit, or you feel like for whatever reason you're not validated and your experience wasn't what you expected it to be, there's a certain subtlety of just being like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, for sure.
That has more impact than if you were just like, yeah, I was killing people every day.
And I also want to say, to piggyback off that, I want to say that people who say they can't talk about it are full of shit. If you hear somebody say, I can't talk about it, why would you bring that up?
Yeah.
That shit drives me nuts. I don't want to talk about it is validated. I get that. I've said that before. And I can't talk about it is insanity.
But see, like, most of what you don't want to talk about is, like, your regrets in the bedroom. Not like what happened overseas. You're talking about me
specifically?
Yeah, you specifically. No, you specifically.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
So like he's more than willing to tell me about like his combat stories. But like I come over to his house and I see some slam big like stumbling down the stairs, still dick drunk. You know.
She is a nice lady. How dare you?
She has a beautiful soul.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's like, I just look at him and I'm like, really? And he's like, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't talk about it.
And then we play Spider-Man.
That's our bonding
Yeah,
experience.
that's how men handle things.
That's right. With Marvel characters that they wish they could be, and are told they look like a lot.
So. Yeah, and also the affinity for making bad jokes in tense situations.
That's honestly my favorite thing.
It really is.
I love it.
So also, with that being said, is that you have the veterans that not only do they try to like either put people down or embellish their own stories because they feel whatever inadequate about their own.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, and I mean, I get the friendly competition and the roasting and, you know, like, well, my platoon is better or my MOS is better.
Sure, you have to have that, I feel.
Yeah, like, I feel that, you know, that drives you to be better in the moment. But if you, like, legitimately feel that, like, you need to put other people down to feel better about your own service... Like, I hate sandwich making jokes. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for this, but I absolutely fucking despise it, and I'll tell you why. I spent 12 goddamn years in the infantry, not one person made me a fucking sandwich. The only people who make goddamn sandwich jokes are pogues, alright? I don't want to fucking hear it, because I didn't get one fucking sandwich. There's no females around to make me a sandwich. So making sandwich fucking jokes, like, to me, that's the pogiest shit you could do. Just in my opinion.
Sure, in your humble.
In my very humble opinion.
Your humble and combat decorated opinion.
Yeah. Like if you want to take, like, I mean, female Marines and female soldiers aren't above being made fun of. You know, that's true equality.
Absolutely.
But like, if you want to, like, if you feel like you want to talk shit about, I just feel like the sandwich joke is just like.
I agree. Well, I can
so poor.
I can honestly say, as far as Marine Corps culture is concerned, like the crown joke now is getting, you know, fucking overdone as well. So
yeah, like if I want to make fun of like a female friend of mine that's in the service, I just tell her that my pack weighs more than she does.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, which is not inaccurate.
Hilarious. Oh, it's true. Yeah.
You know. And
then, well, first off, how do you think I feel? I'm in the Navy.
Yeah, but you did grunt shit though, you know.
Yeah, like, I did. Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't matter. You think other sailors see that? They don't care.
When they see your massive stack,
they don't care. They don't care.
Really?
I would honestly say a true like shipboard sailor, like who actually does sailor shit, who works much harder than I've ever worked in my entire life. Yeah. They see my ribbon stack and they go, "Oh, where's your ESOS pin?" That's what they see. You know what I mean?
What, your ESOS?
ESWAS, like enlisted service.
Oh, I thought it was like some sort of pasta.
Enlisted. Oh my god, I'm gonna get roasted for this. I know what it is.
Producer, cut the mic. Cut the mic.
No, don't cut it. Hang on. I'm gonna look it up. No, but essentially, it's the
some gay non-war fighting.
No. It's the warfare device they earn while they're underway and like part of like ship staff and like actually do Navy things.
Yeah. And because like,
what's it stand for? Hang on.
I think that that, you know, we're all part guilty of that. If it's not part of my little piece of the pie, I don't understand what it means.
Exactly.
You know, or like I don't understand that.
Enlisted service warfare specialist. I knew it.
Yeah. You knew it.
I knew it. Go ahead.
I'm the uneducated swine.
Exactly.
Because you know what I have a fucking bone to pick with? Ooh. They told me I was goddamn amphibious, joined the Marine Corps, and they kept putting me on flights to the desert. I was never on one ship in 12 years.
Well, I mean...
Not one.
Did they at least give you pool PT? Because that's the same thing.
If by pool PT you mean like trying to drown me.
Yes, then yes.
Yes.
Amphibious as fuck.
I was amphibious Absolutely. As fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so to kind of round it out with this segment before we move on, I think the veteran community needs to take more ownership of that title.
Yeah.
So if you use the fact that you're in the military to get a job or to impress a girl or to enter into some sort of business arrangement or get people to support your business because it's veteran owned,
then you're me.
Yeah. But then if you're a piece of shit about it afterwards, fuck you. Because all you're doing is making it harder for everyone else. Mm-hmm. The next guy, you know, who is trying to get a loan from that bank and they see that he's a veteran too, they may not be as likely. The next guy, you know, who's trying to start up a legitimate business may not get the same support, or like that girl is just going to talk shit about all military guys, or or whatever, or that manager is going to be like, oh, I thought veterans were squared away. I'm never hiring another soldier or whatever.
Yeah, it honestly leaves a bad taste in their mouth, both figuratively and
so like
physically.
If you were a piece of shit in the military and you're still a piece of shit, don't tell people you were a fucking veteran.
Exactly.
Just be a piece of shit. Like, nobody's stopping you from living your life. Like, you can, as a piece of shit, you can do whatever you want. Just stop telling people you're in the military.
And that's what makes this country great.
And if you fuck up something and, like, you use that veteran status to get there, like, try to make some sort of amends for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, people may not forgive you, but maybe they won't be as harsh to judge the next person.
Yeah.
Because you got so many veterans out there struggling, and one of the worst things you could do is you're like, oh, yeah, I died for my brothers. But, yeah, you won't fucking show up on time to the job that you got because you were a veteran.
Tell them.
You won't fucking show up sober. You won't fucking do things the right way.
Yeah.
even though you got that job only because you got non-competitive hiring because you were a veteran.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you fuck the next guy. Be like, oh yeah, I died for my brothers and my sisters. But then like the first time somebody posts something that they're proud of, like a certificate or a course or whatever, you're like, God, oh, well, I went to Fallujah, so your fucking accomplishment doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, people are so fucking willing to say that they have this bond and this brotherhood and they do anything and the stuff they had. But then like the simplest actions of just not being a huge piece of shit escapes them.
It's impossible. It is absolutely impossible for some people not to be a giant turd.
It really is. And it's like, you think about all the guys, you know, they got kicked out because they were druggies or they beat their wives or whatever.
Sure.
Not saying they can't go on to fucking be, you know, good human beings and redeem themselves or whatever. But if you use that status to get an advantage in life and then you abuse it, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And not saying you can't fix yourself. You can still fix yourself, but just know in the moment you're a piece of shit and you need to correct yourself.
Well, I think that wraps up vets.
Yeah, today's Veterans Day, isn't it?
It is.
Have we even mentioned that?
I don't think so.
I don't think we've mentioned that at all.
We are recording on Veterans Day right now.
Yeah, it is Veterans Day.
Yeah, happy Veterans Day.
Oh, I said we have a very special Veterans Day special.
Oh, then we're good.
Which then all I did was proceeded to bash veterans.
Well, turd veterans.
Turd veterans.
To be fair, there are some great ones out there. Some of my best friends.
Like 6 or 7. There's like 6 or 7 that are okay.
And
at
2
best.
of them are my parents. Met in the Air Force in the 80s.
And
back when that meant something.
Only one of them are in this room. Like, our producer is a beautiful man.
He is.
He's over there just
hungover as hell.
Hungover as hell, still trooping on.
He looks like he's sweating blood. You look bad.
Like, not like overall, but like for you.
For you, for sure. Yeah.
For you, like, I wouldn't do any photo shoots today.
Absolutely not, yeah.
Like, because we're going to bring him on today for a segment, but that didn't work out.
No, he feels terrible. He looks terrible. I get it. I wouldn't want to come on either.
And I get that. You know, we've all been there. I got
there Saturday,
and I'll make sure that this picture gets put up. If you haven't seen a post on my page already, there's a picture of me in full dress blues, passed out with my feet up on the bed and my back on the floor in a hotel room in Vegas, full dress blues, wearing a Spanish lucha libre mask. Just passed out with a bottle of vodka.
See.
That was before the ball started.
That's what we call pregame in the Marine Corps.
That was before. This was at like 6:45 in the afternoon. I don't even know where I got the lucha libre mask from.
It doesn't matter.
Never saw it again.
Tactically acquired.
The only reason I know it exists is because it's in one picture. Then I stumbled down to the bar or store, whatever, downstairs. I bought a bunch of vodka, like little airplane bottles, and like stuffed my pockets. Looked like a huge piece of shit with like, you're not even supposed to have like a wallet or keys in your pockets. People want you to put that shit in your sock.
That's
it's so unprofessional. Yeah. But my pockets are bulging, and I'm passing them out to like, everyone, and like I'm putting them like in water glasses and stuff. And one of the guys next to me, he kind of had like cotton mouth for whatever reason, and he was just like, hey, do you mind if I get some of your water? And I'm like, yeah, sure, go for it, completely forgetting that it was pure vodka.
Oh my god.
And he takes a sip and he just starts choking. Like, imagine, like, it's bad enough when you go to like Burger King and you expect it to be Coke and it's Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
like that's bad enough. Imagine expecting water because you're like under the weather or allergies or whatever I think it was, and just pure vodka like on the rocks.
My liver hurts.
Then after that, my buddy and I, AJ, we're walking down the street in Vegas, and we're fucking shithoused. And this car full of these Spanish girls pull up. And, like, I used to live in Puerto Rico. My whole mom's side of the family is Hispanic. Puerto Rican girls are fucking nuts. I will say that.
For sure, yeah.
And they pull up, and they're like, hey, boys, like, looking good, poppy, blah, blah, blah. And, like, we're talking shit to them. And then my buddy is just like, girl, I'll do things to you you can't even spell.
Oh, solid line. Oh, I love it.
But the thing is that you could tell, like, they weren't very smart. And the idea of learning a new word scared them. And they drove away. And so, like, my first reaction was like, damn, that was a good line.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you're too smart. You scared away the dumb girls.
Exactly. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you get hooked on phonics today of all days?
Of all days. And then, so we're stumbling down the road. Totally redeems himself. There's these 2 doctors that were in town for a convention. They're like maybe 4 or 5 years older than us. Okay. Still pretty smoking.
Yeah.
And he just like, hey, what are you guys doing? And they're like, nothing. He's like, come hang out with us. And they're like, okay.
Nice.
And I was like, dude, like, hard pull.
I like it.
Hard pull.
Sometimes you gotta go, swing right for the fences.
And so we go to this strip club, Spearmint Rhino, and like my buddy is like, he's like a nice, polite guy who like likes to get to know a girl and all this stuff.
That's fair.
And like the girl I was with, like she was attractive, but like I just wasn't feeling it. And she was like, yeah, like I volunteer for PETA a lot, and I was just like,
cool.
And then her friend was just like, yeah, my friends are having a good time, like we should leave. And like AJ looks at me, he's like, dude, like do something.
Yeah.
And I was like, fine. And so we just started making out.
Yeah.
And they looked over and they're like, what the hell? Like, where did that come from? Because it was like we were about to fight before. Because she was like, I can't believe you hunt and blah blah blah. That's so terrible.
Oh my god.
And then we were making out.
Right. Well, naturally, it always ends in making out if there's a Marine in dress blues.
Yeah.
100% of the time.
100% of the time.
Yeah.
And so he totally redeemed himself with that though.
That's solid. Good job, AJ. That's fantastic.
And so that being said, we're gonna roll into our next segment where we look at a video. And we give our thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Have we named the segment yet?
I don't think so. I think it's just Mike, name the segment on the spot. What do you got? All right, he's not answering. I think he's dead.
Yeah. I think like the last brain cells are firing and he's in his death throes. I can smell the vodka from here. Shout out to Strike Force Energy.
No shit.
For not only fueling me for this show, but also giving our producer the energy required to stumble from the bar to my vehicle.
Exactly, yeah. God bless him.
And we made it home safely.
Solid product.
Pulling this up. So those of you who can't see, basically it looks like it's in the Middle East, and you have a guy who's dressed like a Middle Eastern man is carrying his buddy over his shoulder.
God, yeah.
And
oh my god,
there are rounds kicking up all around them.
This is like a literal nightmare I have.
Like this looks like a Hollywood version. Like these rounds are so close to his feet.
I have so many questions.
And so like we don't know. Oh, what?
My god!
They almost hit him right in the foot.
Holy fuck!
And like we don't know what side of what fight he's on. We don't know if he's a rebel or an insurgent or pro or anti or whatever.
I feel like the reason he's moving so like I wouldn't say slowly. He's got a solid pace going. It's because those massive balls of his are hanging down.
Weighing him down.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Because I think that just looking at this out of context, I would just assume that his boy was like banging the sheik's daughter.
Right, for sure.
And he like got fucked up. Yeah. And so like his boy had to come and get him, you know?
Oh my god.
And like now the war tribe is shooting at him as he's running. Because he's in the middle of the desert. Like there's no end in sight.
No.
Like it doesn't look like there's like an oasis or a vehicle or a city waiting.
There's not a shred of cover around him.
No, he's scooting.
Oh my god. Fuck.
Look at him.
This is live footage of me dodging texts from my ex.
And again, we don't condone any activity. We're just looking at this because this is just like
it's purely video, yeah.
Yeah, like whether this guy's on the right side or the wrong side or whatever your perspective is,
whatever's
like
going on.
This dude is down for his fucking boy.
Yeah. God.
Like I got friends who like who won't even fucking come out for like a birthday or something. You know?
Right, yeah.
And like this dude is literally running through
friends
gunfire.
That won't drive 10 minutes to see me. Yeah. This guy, yeah.
You go home on leave and you got friends, quote unquote, who won't drive 15 minutes to a fucking bar or restaurant to say hi. But this dude is fucking literally running through hell.
Oh my god. Fuck that. I mean, well, good on him for... But I don't know.
I'm still convinced he was banging the sheik's daughter.
He had to have. I mean,
either that or the sheik's son. Like,
and that's his son.
The sheik was banging his own son, and now everybody's shooting at him.
Fuck that, man. Yeah.
Oof. All right, EP, how we doing on time?
All right.
Well, what's that mean?
5 minutes.
5 minutes left?
Hey.
Or we've been talking for 5 minutes?
No.
Time slows down.
5 minutes left.
5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys hear? Off mic? That's our executive producer.
Yeah. He lives.
He lives. He is alive.
Yeah.
So.
I'm alive, baby.
And to all our followers, if anyone can guess the exact drink that he was drinking last night, I will personally give you $20.
I'll chip in 100 because it's an insane drink.
$120.
For sure.
Or does that work out to 80?
I don't know. At Marine Corps math.
You put 100 and then give me 20.
Sure.
And then the remainder goes to the winner.
And then you got to think of, taxes and
taxes, which go to me.
Okay, that's right. All right. So $17
and shipping and handling.
Yeah. You'll get of the money.
Of the money.
Okay.
$17. How do we start out? We get out with less than the original offer.
I don't know. I'm tired too.
Capitalism, man. Like
this country.
This country. Yeah. So if anybody can guess the exact mixture of what he was drinking, you will owe us $17 plus shipping and handling.
Yeah, I agree. That's fair. That's how this shit works. I do want to say one thing randomly. I read, again, like I said last week, I read all your guys' comments. We all do. And I know you guys want to hear war stories. You want to hear combat stories specifically. But I was talking with Dan about this last night at the bar. Like, I don't know how you guys tell your stories of deployment or combat, but mine kind of happen organically. So something has to remind me, like a sight or smell or something. So as far as combat stories, I'm sure they'll flow. But I don't want to be like, this one time in combat, you know what I mean, fellow veteran?
Yeah,
like,
fellow combat veteran.
Fellow combat veteran, yeah.
So I had stacked so many bodies
exactly
that I was not able to see the approaching targets.
You know that feeling when your adrenaline spikes when you're being shot at?
Yeah, like a turkey baser of adrenaline hits your arm.
I will say one thing, though. I do remember a couple times it got super kinetic, combat talk.
Yeah.
And I remember
Block 1 activities. For those of you who don't know the 3-block war concept, Google it.
Google it, you pogues. So stupid. I do remember like my adrenaline spiking, and I'd be setting up security sometime, and I remember my nose. First off, I want to say I touched my nose so much I didn't even notice that. Like, I've seen the playback of this fucking podcast, and I touched my nose.
lot of messages.
A lot of messages about me touching my nose, and I don't know why I did.
And it's mainly girls being like, can you touch that nose on my clitoris?
I'm doing it now. Just think about it. Let me do it just now. I didn't mean to.
Right on the clitoris with his nose.
Actually, my friend, she texted me, and she goes, hey, me and my friends were watching your podcast, and we decided to take a shot every time you touched your nose, and we're all dead now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, no. I touched it that much. I'm really sorry. But I do, anyway, back to, I remember.
But again, ladies, if you would like his nose on your clitoris, send $17.99 plus shipping and handling to Pop Smoke Media.
It's not worth that much money. So
literally gigoloing him right now.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I need a side hustle. So I remember my adrenaline spiking at certain times, but I remember, I don't know if this happened to you, but my sense of smell and breathing through my nose was like heightened to like superhero senses.
Really?
Like, I don't know what it was about me. I've asked other people who were on the same convoys, and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, go see Doc. But I remember, I would say, probably 2 or 3 times it happened. I just remember my senses and my smell and my breathing were just heightened.
Like Daredevil to the extreme.
Like, if this were Hell's Kitchen, I'd be running shit.
Just viciously micromanaging 4 blocks of Iraq.
I don't know what it was. I don't know why it happened. But when I get that sense of urgency, I could breathe super heavy through my nose, which I could never do, and I could smell really powerfully. So I may not be Spider-Man, but
I feel like those expecting a combat story are severely disappointed right now.
No, and that's how organic they are.
Yeah, but that is real talk though. Like pomegranates always remind me of Iraq because we did a mission that went through a big pomegranate field.
Yeah,
and the Marine Corps in its infinite wisdom didn't want to give us food or water.
Yeah,
so we would get pomegranates. From the local farmer. I think they call that theft here in America.
I wouldn't label it.
But let's not throw around words like that.
Sure, yeah. Not on this podcast.
Yeah, and so I mean, that being said, like we'd be more than happy to talk about that kind of stuff.
For sure, yeah, absolutely.
When we do our next party or our next meetup or whatever, it's just kind of hard to like on the spot be like, hey, like, tell me about the most traumatic moments of your life.
Right, yeah.
Like, remember that time your friend died? And like, the time you carried that casualty? Like,
I'm going to need you to remember that time your friend's
talk about that in front of thousands and thousands of strangers.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, that's
one of those meaningful moments of my life, yeah.
And to round it out, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I can't talk about it.
So thank you all for tuning in. If you have any ideas, suggestions, reaction videos, go ahead and send it over to us at The Smoke Pit. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify.
Honestly, all platforms you get your podcast.
If anybody's listening to us on Alexa, please let us know.
That's super dope. I think.
I think that's like really cool.
Alexa, play The Smoke Pit.
Like Mike's just like viciously cream pieing some fat girl, and he's like, Alexa, play The Smoke Pit.
That's the only way I can finish anymore.
Yeah, the only way.
The sound of my own voice.
All right. So that being said, thanks. Over and out.
Thanks, guys.